Welcome back to Chasing News. I'm former Lieutenant Governor of New Jersey, Kim Guadagno, standing in for Bill Spadea tonight. Yesterday, there was a press conference between a Republican and a Democrat where they agreed that we should decriminalize marijuana. And some people think that that's an effort to avoid legalizing marijuana on a statewide basis. For more on the story, we turn to our own Ashley Johnson. Ashley?
Kim, Governor Phil Murphy has a tough road ahead if he plans on making his campaign promise to legalize recreational marijuana a reality. A bipartisan effort backed by longtime Democrat State Senator Ron Rice and Republican State Senator Bobby Singer offers a much different alternative to the governor's plan by decriminalizing marijuana.
Let's take small amounts and say, listen, you're not going to go to jail for this, you're not going to be arrested for this, and we're not going to bother law enforcement with it. And therefore, there's no reason now to legalize marijuana in the state because we've solved the major concern that people had.
The way the bill would work is people caught with a small amount of weed would no longer have to worry about possibly having their license suspended or going to jail. Instead, people who are caught with a specific amount would be fined much like a speeding ticket. Lawmakers are still working out the exact amount of weed. Right now, they are considering 10 grams or less.
It allows the judges to do two things. If there is a fine, they can look at the hardship factor so that poor people aren't disproportionately affected by this. And secondly, part of the fine money does stay with the township and the rest goes to the state to be used for mental health purposes, which is a positive thing.
Senator Ron Rice and the Black Caucus will conduct public hearings around the state on the issue so people have a say on the bill. In Lakewood, I'm Ashley Johnson, reporting for Chasing News.
Thanks, Ashley, for that rundown. I'm going to turn it over now to the former head of the New Jersey DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, and a former chief of Monmouth County Detectives who's got experience on the federal side and the state side in prosecuting these kind of cases, that Michael Pasterchik. Mike, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks. It's great to see you and great to be here.
Even if it is legalized, marijuana is legalized in New Jersey, what is it on the federal level?
Currently, the federal level, marijuana is still a Schedule I, which means it has no medical use, and it's illegal to possess, sell, or distribute. And also proceeds that may be gained from the sale of marijuana, whether it's legal or illegal, is obviously subject to forfeiture and also criminal charges.
And now you were a detective on the street in Monmouth County. How hard is it to prosecute these kind of cases?
Well, the marijuana, it's a lot more difficult for driving under the influence. It's going to be a real challenge for our law enforcement because you're going to have to call in the middle of the night drug recognition experts, which they call DREs. It's more subjective initially to see. It's not like bringing a person in for an alcohol test, an alka-test, and having them blow into a straw.
Mike, thanks for bringing that to our attention. I don't think most people know that it's a federal crime no matter what happens in New Jersey and how hard it is going to be to prosecute those kind of cases.
My pleasure to be here.
Thanks, Mike. So we're going to turn it over right now to a mayor whose town is going to ban legalizing the dispensaries of marijuana, but hasn't taken quite a clear position on whether they're for or against recreational marijuana. So Mayor Jack DiLorenzo from Hasbrook Heights joins us right now. Mayor, how are you?
I'm doing well, Kim. Thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit about what your town did?
We passed an ordinance to prevent the recreational sale of marijuana. It's allowed if it's dispensed for medical purposes, but for recreational purposes, we ban the sale through zoning.
Can you tell us, Mayor, why your town council did that?
I guess the main priority is that we're a family-oriented community here. And secondly, I think it's fair to send a clear message that before anybody invests any time and effort and money, that Hasbrook Heights was not going to support the sale of recreational marijuana.
Mayor, what if it becomes legal throughout the state of New Jersey? Aren't you just saying not in my backyard?
As a mayor and council, we wanted to be proactive. We'll abide by the laws of the state, of course. However, I think having a dispensary in our community would put an additional burden on our law enforcement officers too.
We look forward to seeing what other towns join you. Maybe your neighbors will, so that you have a circle of no dispensaries in your area.
So.
Thank you, Mayor.
Hope so. Thank you.
Joining us is Bill Caruso, a Democrat strategist and also a lawyer. Bill, thanks for joining us. And we're going to see Peter Brown again. Peter, thanks for coming. You are a councilman in Linden.
Thank you.
Let's get started with this idea of banning dispensaries in our own backyards. Peter, you were at the conference yesterday. Tell us what happened and tell us what your position is for Linden.
I'm against the sale of recreational marijuana. You know, I'm for medical And I'm also for decriminalization. And what happened yesterday, the press release was about decriminalizing this and addressing the social aspects of marijuana.
Some people don't understand the difference, and I'm going to pull on your legal background right now, between decriminalizing marijuana and making it legal in New Jersey.
Decriminalization basically says we're going to fine you for it, right? We're not going to lock you up any longer.
Like a traffic ticket.
Yes, but there is still a way that you enter up in the criminal justice system when you can't pay your fines. And there is also sometimes, and it looks like in this bill that the senator put forth yesterday, mandated drug treatment as well.
But you're still subject to prosecution on the federal level, right?
You can be on any of these,
Right.
even on medicinal right now, because it is illegal at the federal level. Although, oddly enough, we've never seen more activity to change that in wake of Jeff Sessions' recent move, which moved this back a little bit, but the Congress is moving the other way now.
What happens if they decriminalize it? Is this really an effort to slow down the legalization movement?
So we saw big news yesterday. There is support for both medicinal and decriminalization from Senator Rice. I'm not a proponent of that because I think decriminalization just continues to move the ball further down the court in terms of locking people up. You just delay it because they can't afford the fine. Now they get caught up later.
You get the last word on the subject
I disagree.
for now.
Decriminalization, Ron Rice, he's an advocate of the black community, and his goal is to address this social injustice. And I think legalizing is all about money. The decriminalization bill is addressing the social aspects that we've been talking about, and I think that's the right approach and that we should be looking at.
Well, thanks, Pete. I appreciate you coming in today and telling us a little bit about it. Bill, you're going to stick around and finish up the rest of the show.